Welcome to Honest Whispers Preview for Sale. On this video, I'll be previewing G.I. Joe Cobra the Enemy Baroness Mini Resin Bust, released by Palisades Toys in December 2002. It is approximately 7 inches tall. This is limited edition number 1286 out of 2880. And I'm going to go over 6 different categories to preview this. First category is design, covers the overall look, the concept, and from my first impression, I think overall it does look pretty good. This is the first Baroness bust or statue ever made, and as far as the concept goes, they did a lot of the characters for this line, and some of them have both arms, some of them have no arms, and as you can see, like with Baroness, you only have one arm. She has a right arm holding this gun, which kind of looks like an AUG, and then you could see that her left arm has been cut off. But still, overall look is pretty nice. I would prefer it with both arms. Definitely didn't really like the ones without the arms, and this one overall does look pretty good. But when I look at certain online pictures, and when you do look at this closely, especially when you compare her head size with the rest of her body, like her chest, it does look a little oversized, a little disproportioned, but overall it's not bad, and that's why I give the design score a 7 out of 10. Next category is sculpting, covers the details, quality of the sculpt, quality of the mold, and of course, because it's still here, I'll show you the tape, the factory seal tape. Unfortunately, I did sell this online, so would lose value if I opened it. But from what I can see, especially for something that's 19 years old or came out in 2002, pretty good sculpt quality. Very nice details. Can't see too much of the hair, but you could see a lot of the sculpting in the hair. They did sculpt the glasses. There's no lens though. The mic, pretty good details. Her costume, you can see the buckles, her chest plate armor, her belt, pretty good details, and even the gun, very nice details on the gun. Certain areas like smooth surfaces, you could see the ammo clip, some nice details there, and I mean, I guess you could see slight little imperfections if you look at it really closely. But other than that, I mean, really can't see any major mistakes. That's why I give the sculpting score a near perfect 9 out of 10. Next category is colors, covers the accuracy of the coloring, quality of the paint, and quality of the paint application. And this one, they did release 3 versions of her. This is the original black one. They did release a crimson red one and also a blue one. For me, I like the black one the best. It has a nice glossy finish. You could see, especially on the chest plate, matte finish on the rest of her costume, and of course like her face. The colors and the paint quality is pretty good. Paint application, you can see again, not much errors, but when you look at it really closely, you can see little imperfections on the lines. Some lines get a little bit thinned and then gets kind of thicker. Otherwise, everything else, I don't see much bleeding or anything like that. The buckles, especially that, you could see a little bit of like, not so much bleeding, but you could see how that one line curves a bit, And then I don't know if it's supposed to or if it's supposed to connect there or not, but you can see the lines are not that consistent. And you can see in the upper left corner, you can see how it kind of thins out. See a little bit of black on that line. The Cobra symbol seems okay, although it doesn't look that defined. Again, really kind of hard to see what the item in its case, and you could see some of the plastic wrapping right there, so it does kind of cover the view. But at least from what I see, it's not bad. You could see little imperfections again here and there, and that's why I give the color score a near perfect 9 out of 10. And before I go to the next category, which is packaging, I do want to point out one more couple things. I wish they did an eye line, a better eye line for her eyes. Would be a little bit more, defined. And of course, you could see both of her eye, like her pupils, are not exactly the same size, or at least you could see where the reflection, the white dot, which is supposed to be like a light reflection of the eyes, you could see her right eye is a lot bigger, and you could see the left eye is that white circle is not as big, and it's placed slightly more to her left, or from our point of view, more to the right. So, and then you could see her right eye, the white dot is more in the middle. So even though the black pupils are straight, due to the reflection, it does kind of give it a little bit of a googly-eyed effect, a little bit. When you look at it from up close, when you look at it from a bit of a distance, really hard to tell. But with eyeline, I think her eyes would have been a little bit more defined and would look better overall. And one more thing I wanted to point out, if you look at the prototype picture, you could see that the mic, there's white painting on the tip, and then at the edge right there and closer to her ear. And of course the mic on the actual product, no white paint at all, so it's just all black, which looks fine as is. But yeah, it looks like they decided to skip on that. So that's why I don't really dock him as, like a hit or a flaw or anything like that, or an error. That's why I left the score at 9 out of 10. So next category is packaging. Covers the design, overall look, and functionality. And as you can see, especially for a 2002 packaging, this is really nice. 4-color window box. And it does have a bit of not the perfect pentagon, but it is basically, or I'm sorry, not a perfect hexagon, but definitely a nice little design, how it's cut out, 6-sided. So you have the nice little window here, which you can see most of the front. Very nice artwork for the box. You can see original artwork here with the Baroness, which looks really nice too. And then a couple prototype pictures. And I like how it's all kind of like crumpled up like that. Of course, this is labeled as 6 inches tall, but that is more towards like her head with the tip of the gun. It's more closer to like 6.5 to 7 inches. And then the back, which is also nice. I like the little cards. Kind of reminds you of the original toy. Of course, with the coming soon, the next one, here's Roadblock, an example of a bust with no arms. And then the other side, they kind of used a similar prototype pictures, but then this one, the portrait is bigger, and then the full body shot or the full bust shot is smaller, and you can see they're slightly in different angles. So I do like that, rather than using the same picture for the side. And it's a really nice look overall. Again, even with the top, you kind of have that more of a, I mean, it's not really black and white. I guess it kind of is, other than the words. But yeah, it has a nice visual effect to it. Now, due to the shape, it's a little bit hard to take care of, especially this plastic, because you'll see that the plastic, it kind of sticks out. So if you placed anything heavy on this side, it will definitely cave in and create creases. So I always try to protect this side, especially when I'm storing it. I'll place the front side against the wall of the box or something like that. Otherwise, I mean, design is great, and functionality wise, it does keep the bust nicely in place, so it doesn't rattle or shake. You can see that it's nicely tied in as well, and yeah, it just doesn't really definitely keeps the bust safe, so no worries about it breaking while it's in its packages, unless you're dropping it from like 5-10 feet or above. So I give the packaging score a near perfect 9 out of 10. Next category is value, covers the suggested retail price versus the quality, or suggested retail price versus the aftermarket price. And this bust, again, came out December 2002. Right now it's July 2021. It's almost 20 years, close to that vintage status. And unfortunately, there's not that much value in this. When it first came out, I think it was retailed at around $39.99. I just recently sold this online for $50 plus roughly around $20 shipping, $6 for tax. So it came out to be about $76. There are some others listed, new and used one. The cheapest I've seen was about $40. And then the most expensive ones I've seen, which probably no one's going to buy, is like $300. But on the higher average, more around like $70 to $80. Of course, the red and blue version, they do kind of vary in price, but I think overall it just really doesn't have that much aftermarket value for something this old. And that's why I give the value score lower than average, 4 out of 10. Final categories overall accumulates to 5 prior categories: design, sculpting, colors, packaging, and value. And this one, overall, it's not bad. I don't think it's great. As a Baroness fan, definitely worth buying and keeping, especially since it's not even that much, it's not that costly. So you could find a pretty good one for around $60, $60, $70 with shipping included. So definitely worth it. Otherwise, if you're buying it for like the long-term investment type of, reason, that's not really going to work out. I don't see this going up that much higher. Even 10 more years, maybe at the max, like 75, 80 average. So unfortunately, value isn't there, but overall look ain't bad. And that's why I give the overall score an average 5 out of 10. So to recap: design, 7 out of 10. Sculpting, 9 out of 10. Colors, 9 out of 10. Packaging, 9 out of 10. Value, 4 out of 10. And overall, 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time, continue reading the King James Version Bible and eat your vitamin C's daily.